Here. Welcome, everybody, to our FIC National Coalition meeting. We are in the depth of summer, so I know many people are on vacation, in the Friday mood, as well as out with Rogers. So we will make the best of it and make sure this recording is available for those who wanted to be here, but unfortunately were not able to be here today. So thank you to anybody who is new that is joining us today. So FIC is your not-for-profit trade association representing the fitness facilities in Canada. So thank you so much for joining. Please do spread the word, and we want to get as many fitness businesses to know about us as possible. And we have these meetings in order to connect our industry and share about the things that are going on that you can benefit from, or things that you just would like to know about. So our agenda today, we have our government update with our lobbyist, Chris Gray. We have a little bit of a discussion on our time at the IHRSA convention, some things that came out of that, a report that we will be discussing. Then we have some provincial updates to just go over quickly. Then we have an exciting new partnership with HexFit, which we will be connecting about. And then we have Canfitpro convention coming up next month, which all of us are very much looking forward to attending. And we have some discount codes and things to share with you there. And then lastly, the fact that the Canadian Fitness Industry Leadership Award nominations are now at a close, and we'll be discussing that quickly. So I'll pass it over to Chris Gray, who will give us our government update. Oh, Chris, are you able to unmute yourself there?
I think you have to invite him to unmute,
I'm going
Trisha, because
to help you out here.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Okay, good. All right. Technology, as we said, Trisha, I'm glad that everyone's here, and thank you again for inviting me. And off the top, Trisha and I continue to meet on a regular basis to refine and hone our government relations plan as it can be dynamic and what we're doing. And so you can see by the slide here that we continue to be quite active in engaging not only with government officials, but also staying on top of government consultations and engaging with other groups like Participation to see what they're doing, and are there initiatives that we might be able to partner with them in either looking for funding or budget, federal budget requests, and we can be complementary or work together on certain things like that. So we had a good meeting with the head of Participation a couple of weeks ago. We also met with some folks from the Deputy Minister of Finance's office on the social policy side, and let them know what we have been working on, particularly with the medical tax exemption request that we will be continuing to put forward on behalf of your businesses moving forward, which will help to get more Canadians active. And our next step is to talk to specific people in the minister's tax policy department. So Trisha and I will be, and Sarah will be doing that in the near future. And we are continuing to reconnect with MPs, particularly MPs who participated on the National Health and Fitness Day, either tweeted it out or they've showed some support for that. So we're continuing to follow up with some of those MPs who have supported us previously. And we will participate in the pre-budget process, which the Finance Committee has undertaken. And we are currently reviewing, there's a fund called the Healthy Canadians and Communities Fund. So Grassroots, our company, is looking at, are there potential avenues there that might be applicable to FIC and its members. So we're taking a look at that a bit more. And I don't see it here, Trisha, but I did recall, and I don't know if we've mentioned this before, but in the lead up to, maybe we did, but in the lead up to National Health and Fitness Day, we did have a member of Parliament give a statement in the House of Commons on National Health and Fitness Day, Anthony Housefather from Montreal. So that was really nice to see him do that as well. So there's lots of things happening, and we continue to move the ball forward and let more government officials know who we are and what our objectives are in engaging, particularly with the federal government.
Great. Thank you so much, Chris. Our next piece we would like to discuss is our attendance at IHRSA, and particularly being able to attend the Global Federations meeting. And I'll actually ask Carl to speak to that a little bit.
That's me. Thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Awesome. Okay, great. So first of all, I want to share that the vibe at IHRSA was energetic, rejuvenating, and passionate. It was great to be able to be around like-minded individuals that have a similar mission to inspire communities to live their best lives. It was awesome, obviously, being in Miami and South Beach, learning and experiencing new things, but also I'm basing engaging my success in this industry by how many of you guys I get to hug. And I got to hug Mo out in IHRSA, at IHRSA, Evelyn, Trisha, and who am I missing? One more person who I hadn't hugged before. So look out, if you see me at IHRSA, and especially if you see me at Canfitpro, I'm coming in for long hugs. That's what I do. So I went actually to IHRSA on behalf of my organization, Club 16, Trevor Linden Fitness and She's Fit, but I was also offered the opportunity to attend meetings on behalf of our group, the Fitness Industry Council of Canada. So that was super exciting for me. I was honored and privileged to represent Canada and FIC along with Trisha in the global meetings at IHRSA. Of course, Trisha knew a fair amount of people in these meetings because she's been attending these meetings for a long time. And for me, it was really exciting to get to know some of the fitness industry leaders from all over the world. So I wanted to thank everybody on the call for the opportunity to co-represent you with Trisha at IHRSA. We had 4 key meetings representing the Fitness Industry Council of Canada. First, we had the Global Federations meeting. So you can picture this meeting being an introduction of associations from countries across the world. So the thrill of this meeting was actually the data share on the research that we're going to talk about in just a little bit. It was hot off the press at the time, and I found it really interesting. We had all these different associations from different countries, Ireland, China, Japan, New Zealand, America, and everybody was like chomping at the bit to get a hold of this information and this data. And so that's how excited the vibe was around this information that we're going to talk about today, and likely you've seen already. The cool thing about this data, obviously, we're going to talk about is that it really quantifies that gyms are both socially and economically critical to our provinces and this nation. So that's super cool. The E20 meeting, which was a meeting focused primarily on agreeing to strategize around worldwide associations and creating alliances so information and strategy can be better communicated. So you can consider this an appeal to all nations with associations like FIC to come together and not have to reinvent the wheel every time we're advocating or lobbying for something. So instead, we want to create a resource that's available to all countries like Canada so that we can access it and better strategize for the future of our industry and our council. And it was such a cool meeting to be a part of, to see the passion from so many different countries in one room. It's definitely an experience I'm going to remember for the rest of my life. As you can likely tell, I believe that this meeting is one that I think our council can gain the most from in the coming years. And so we have agreed to pursue alliances with this E20 group so we can have easily accessible information and contacts from across the world. We also had a meeting with 4 Global, which is the group that we're working with, who will be conducting the Canadian specific research that will help guide our industry's decisions in Canada, our strategies, and position us well for the next 5 to 10 years as a council. We confirmed some of the research we felt would benefit the FIC and our members the most, and agreed to some support from our end on establishing data and criteria for Global 4. In all 3 meetings, I think Trisha would agree, we established ourselves as one of the more credible and successful nations in the initiatives we have worked on in the past 3 years, where I saw many nations seeing the pandemic as a reason to pause their initiatives. The FIC stood out as a nation, or as a group that took full advantage of the pandemic and the things we were able to accomplish despite the pandemic and due to the pandemic. The level of governments we have access to, the initiatives we have been successful at, and our ongoing communication with stakeholders, decision makers, and members clearly highlighted the FIC and our success in a strong way. We were able to ask questions, Trisha and I were asked questions like, how did you provincially gain access and influence the Minister of Health in British Columbia? What strategy did you use to be able to present tax benefits for fitness directly to your federal Minister of Finance? And so people were really excited about the FIC and what we've accomplished. So I'm very proud of everybody on this call, everybody who's engaged in the FIC, because it was clear to me being in these global meetings for the first time that we were there, we had a presence, and people wanted to know how we were accomplishing and had accomplished a lot of the things that we've done over the last few years. So so at IHRSA, we gained some important connections and alliances. We began to work on strategies for information shares across the world. We gained access to research that brought even more credibility to our industry and to the FIC. We confirmed specific data that would allow, will now be researched in our country that specifically helps every single person on this call. And we had some fun as well. It was a fantastic trip. And again, I want to thank you for allowing me to experience this, educate myself. And I'm looking forward to Canfitpro in August. It will be my first Canfitpro. So everybody make sure you go.
Thank you so much, Carl. Great update. And it was definitely a very beneficial place for us to represent Canada. So we look forward to doing that in the upcoming years. So as Carl mentioned, one of the biggest pieces that were to come out of IHRSA was a industry report, and it was a global report that looked at 46 countries and broke down the benefits of exercise when it comes to the economy. And there is quite a bit of information that came out of it, highlighted pieces of information. Please feel free to email me directly for a copy of the report. I'm happy to share that with FIC members, and that way you can get a deeper dive into the information that was provided. But what we did with this report is create a press release. So this press release came out on Wednesday. You can find it on all of our social media. You can find it online. Erin was the lead here with this press release. So I do want to pass it over to Erin. I'll just unmute Erin for a moment here. I know she's at the Starbucks there, but what I wanted to actually share with you is, now that this information is out, what we can do as an industry moving forward, how we can share this. So Erin, if you'd like to take this away, please.
Yeah, thanks everyone. And if I go out, it's just because there are like 9,000 people using the internet at Starbucks in Toronto. So the press release went out on the Newswire. It was picked up in French and English. I've seen it in a number of different reputable sources. Sarah was interviewed on CTV National on Wednesday night, and she's going to be on Global tomorrow morning. Sorry, it's a truck going by at 7:40. One thing that Trisha and I wanted to point out to anyone is that you can all use this press release as well to go after your community newspapers. There's a ton of really valid information. And one of the pieces in the press release that you will see is the cost of moving someone from inactive to active. We all drink the Kool-Aid every single day. The people in our gyms know well and truly how important exercise is. But, Sarah and I've been talking a lot about some research that she's been looking at from the States of moving the no fit to low fit and moving people from completely inactive or sedentary to just being active again. And what this report that was released at IHRSA found was it costs $2,000 to move someone from inactive to active, and the return on investment, and this was the really fascinating thing, is 1 year. So if you want to go to any of the media sources that you have in your communities with the press release in hand and get them to interview you, get them to interview your gym, I am more than happy to, if you're very nervous talking to the media, I'm more than happy to jump on a call and to go over some talking points with you on that. But I believe this will be the first of a couple of different press reaches we'll have from the IHRSA report. It was a dense report filled with incredible information. And really the vital piece is that we need everyone to be talking about this report. And so that's my job nationally and in BC. But if you need some help, I'm more than happy to help with that. So there we go. Does that help, Trisha?
Yes, thank you so much, Erin. And yes, please feel free to post this press release. If you need copies of it, French, English, feel free to contact me. It was sent out to all our members yesterday. You can also find it online, and then we can actually discuss this further and in more detail when we go into our members only meeting. When it comes to provincial updates, we have a few things to discuss. BC, Alberta, Ontario has some updates here. What I will get everybody to do, just looking at, maybe for the sake of time, since I think we are running a little bit tight, just noting that we do have some updates provincially that do get expressed more in the provincial meetings and that we can bring up again in our members only meeting, but just noting that there is a momentum that is happening both in the government on various provinces, and a lot of fitness clubs are also doing a push more in the fall. I know this is a recovery period, summertime, so there has been a little bit of a lag in some updates. So I know that some provincial councils have created a pause in how frequently they meet over the summer, but we will make sure that these provincial meetings continue and updates are made. So the next piece, I am very excited to introduce our newest FIC partnership, as well as our newest provincial council member. So Etienne,
yeah, it's true.
welcome, and
Thanks.
becoming a provincial council member with FIC. And if you would like to tell us all about HexFit and the partnership with FIC.
Yeah, thanks. Hi, everybody, and thanks for letting me join today in this group, the FIC. For those who don't know me already, I'm Etienne Dubois, really French. I'm like Evelyn, we're from the province of Quebec, like Gabriel too. And as Trisha said, I'm the founder of HexFit, which is a software for personal trainers. And based on my experience with the fitness industry, like my personal experience, I truly believe that the gym can stand higher in the society right now by working on their strength. And we're really truly believing at HexFit for the personal trainers mainly. And since, so a little bit story about myself, since I'm a programmer, so at the basic, I'm a programmer personally, I did what we should expect from a programmer, and I tried to help the industry by developing a software, which is HexFit. Our software is covering the basics, like the training creation, the nutrition, the client management for personal trainers and gym and fitness centers. But we are going really deeper into all the tracking of the client, helping the client to achieve his goal with the help of the PT. And we really believe into this, how to make the personal trainer standing to fight like the fake personal trainer on the web, or to fight all the challenge that the fitness industry actually have. And we're already working with multiple gyms all around the world, like Evelyn of Energy Cardio, that you already all know. And today, so exactly as Trisha said, we are joining as HexFit first, also with the discount, so the 10% discount for all the members. So we wanted to join like this, but I'm personally also joining the FIC to take my experience, the last 8 years of developing the software all around the world, talking with gyms, with fitness centers, to join my own experience with the FIC and helping the industry to raise and face the challenge it's actually facing it. So hi everybody, we'll see each other more.
Thank you so much. And I'm sure we will connect more and speak to you more about the membership. And if anybody is interested, please go on to this website here. That's hex.fit/FIC to learn more. And then I'll actually give you the email address on my catch-up email so you can connect directly with Etienne. All right. So the next piece, and I know we've kind of mentioned it before, that we're really excited about is Canfitpro coming up this August. So next month, very, very soon. So super exciting. FIC has a number of events that we're going to be hosting. So we have our AGM, which all of you are invited to. We have a State of the Industry Forum. We have our Canadian Fitness Industry Leadership Award reception, and a number of different things. We do have other FIC meetings happening throughout the day of August 12th, but I would like to give Mo an opportunity to speak to us about the discount code that FIC members get and a little bit more about the event.
All right. Well, hello, everyone. And I will just be very brief today. And thank you, Trisha, for outlining the highlights. Of course, all of the events Trisha has mentioned is part of the Canfitpro Global Convention. Specifically within that convention, I'd like to bring your attention to the Business and Leadership Summit. So this is what we've called the concurrent sessions over the 3 days that are specifically designed for business leaders, owners, operators, directors, and those that are aspiring entrepreneurs. And again, as mentioned, as Canfitpro members, which all of you are as FIC members, is that you do have access to this discount code, which is here on the screen. And when you register for the conference, you would apply that code upon your payment at the end. So please use your appropriate email. If you're already a member, you'd use that one to sign into your portal and register from there. We'd love to see you in Toronto. And as Carl mentioned so eloquently earlier, it is as much of what happens between the sessions or the meetings as what happens within the sessions and the meetings. And that is the part that will just help you rejuvenate your purpose and your why. So we really encourage you to be there. And if you have not yet registered, please do so to take advantage of a $100 discount. And this discount code expires 1 week from today. The last thing I'd just like to share briefly is there's been some conversation, and I will be following up with you, Trisha, about bringing some of the women leaders of the FIC together to participate in a very special pre-global conference event called Women Who Influence. It is the 8th annual. The theme this year is belonging, and it is going to be the most profound experience, I believe, in the 8 years that we've had Women Who Influence. And for the very first time, we will be awarding the Sharon Mann Inspiration Award and Scholarship. So it is going to be an event. I'd love to see you there. As much as we are marketing it to women, all persons are welcome to register and come along, because we need the men in the room and in the organization here at the FIC, because you're great supporters of women like myself. I grew up in the industry with a lot of great female role models, but also great male role models. And I wouldn't be where I am today without all of you to lift me up on the days that I'm struggling. And this is something that we have done so amazingly well together over the last couple of years. So let's come together and celebrate. And it will be at Canfitpro Global. The website I'll put into the chat box, and I'll turn it back to Trisha. Thanks so much, everyone, and look forward to seeing you in August in Toronto.
Thanks, Mo. I, for one, am very excited for August. I also just wanted to mention that in the State of the Industry Forum, exciting things that are going to be shared. We have our partners from CFIB who are going to be sharing, as well as our research from For Global is going to be released at Canfitpro. So really exciting news for the Canadian industry, because now we're finally at a place where we are getting statistics for Canada. So amazing that we have this statistic coming out, or that has come out from IHRSA, but we have Canada specific statistics that is going to be released at the State of the Industry Forum at Canfitpro. So a really, really great place to be in order to be the first to get that information. So we invite everybody to attend and use that $100 discount, because it is going to be well worth your time. The last thing I wanted to mention is that Canadian Fitness Industry Leadership Award. The nominations are now closed, and thank you to everybody who was nominated, who has been nominated. Amazing to get so many forms in with just the description of what everybody has done for the industry. And it is such a beautiful piece to read about the individuals who make our industry whole and make it what it is. So we're really, really excited to go through the nominations and go through the application forms. The top 3 nominees will be contacted shortly. So the awards committee is going to be connecting within the next couple of weeks, and we will make sure that we are able to have a great party at Canfitpro in order to celebrate this award. So that being said, that brings us to our next meeting, which is going to be our members only meeting. So if you are a member, you will have received the link to join, and this meeting is going to be more discussion point. So feel free to bring in the discussions that have maybe come up during this conversation, and get ready to connect. So I will see you very shortly in the next link. Thanks, everyone.